Hey guys, welcome to the Moneyline podcast. This is our third one. I'm Wei, your host. I also got my co-host here, Reed. I like to give a little introduction every time. We've both been gambling a long time since we're 18. We've been playing Call of Duty for about a decade, so we really know what we're talking about. We're part of action.gg. If you guys could just check that out, give us some support. We're going to be doing this every week. We're going to have all sorts of different articles, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Today's podcast, we're going to talk about the group picks for CWL Birmingham. We're going to talk about some betting lines, the winner of the event, and then we're going to pick our top four. You have anything to add to that, Reed?
Nah, just let's make it happen. Your
Let's
favorite
jump right
degenerate
into
here,
it.
Reed.
Favorite degenerate, and the number one degenerate bookie lover. I don't even know. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Group A is going to be Rise Nation, E United, Echo Fox, and Epsilon. Something to note is Nagafin is subbing in for Echo Fox, so that might affect their play.
Yeah. The groups seem pretty straightforward this time. Epsilon, they finally got that first couple wins in Pro League, but I don't see them making much noise here. Rise Nation, best team in the world right now. I think that's pretty straightforward. They're going through. E United, Echo Fox, that's the one possibility where it could really go either way. E United seems to be coming through and playing well. They played well that last week in the Pro League and clutched up, made playoffs and everything. I think they're going to keep riding the momentum and they'll be the second seed out.
Yeah, just something to note with Echo Fox too is like, you think Nagafin will be an improvement? I know Saints isn't playing okay lately. Nagafin's the guy who's really looking for his shot, but he's never really impressed anybody with his slang. But you think he could come in with two of his former teammates, Vicenta and Aqua, and maybe make some noise?
He might be able to. I mean, I would still prefer to have Saints over Nagafin, just strictly player for player. I know a lot of people have been saying every team that Nagafin's really been on in this game, people are saying he's good, but you just don't see it in the placings with his teams.
It's just it's consistent too, you know. Like I see him like going 1-7 in S&Ds and then going off again, but you're going up against a team that's not going to lose in Rise Nation and a team that looks pretty solid in E United that's riding a really big wave of momentum. So I'm going to have to take Rise Nation and E United too. I like to pick Echo Fox, like to pick outside the box, but I can't just see how that would happen where they don't advance.
Yeah. Same for me. So I think we're both saying Rise and E United.
Yeah, it's pretty standard groups this time. We're just going to briefly touch on it, really get into some of the juicier lines, bets after the groups.
Sure. Group B now. FaZe Clan, Team Caliber, Unilad, Team Vitality. What do you think, Wei?
This is one of the ones where you could pretty much get rid of Team Vitality. And man, you know me, I've been high on Unilad all year. They made me some money when they didn't get relegated, but they also look so bad in Atlanta. Like, I don't know what to think with this team, man. Like, they can go off, they could play well, and then they just don't place well. And Team Caliber is one of those things where I think that's going to be my sleeper team. Like, everybody thought they were going to come out in Atlanta and just get owned, and they did lose to LG, very close. They lost to Red Reserve very close. So I think they can make some noise too. I think FaZe is pretty much a lock. They're first place. They've already played pretty well in groups. I mean, sometimes they choke one or two matches, but I can't see them being relegated down to the losers bracket right away. So, man, I just don't know. I mean, I got FaZe Clan as a lock, but who are you thinking between TK and Unilad?
I like TK. I think it's a bad draw for Unilad. I think if they were maybe in one of the other groups, they would have had a better chance. But I think FaZe and TK are just two, definitely better teams than Unilad. I mean, Unilad can kind of slip in on, if they were playing an Echo Fox or an E United or one of those, or a Splice for second place. Then I could go more so for Unilad, but I just feel like TK and FaZe are so established in this game right now, and I would say easily both of them are top 6 teams. If not top 4. I just see those two making it through.
I agree with you too. I mean, I would love to pick Unilad to come out here just because there's always those teams, like one or two teams, like Mind Freak in Atlanta, that just surprisingly come out of their groups. But yeah, I'm going to have to go FaZe and Team Caliber here. I can't see much disagreement between those.
Yeah.
let's move on to Group C. We got Optic Gaming, Team Envy, Reckless, which is the old Era roster, and then Evil Geniuses. This one's a little more. There seems to be a little bit more competition there, just like Atlanta. But personally, I just got to go with Optic and Envy. I mean, I like Reckless. I think they could compete. Evil Geniuses, they got the players that are always playing at events. Have been around for years and years and years, so you know they got the experience. But I like Optic. They're going to switch roles. They're probably going to play well. And I like Team Envy just because, I mean, they've looked weak, but you know they show up at events. They always do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
what do you think?
I like Optic and Envy as well. One thing I want to touch on is both of these teams most likely are going to make roster changes, I would say. I mean, Reckless is like almost completely confirmed at this point.
Yeah,
They're dropping
with,
Ricky and
for
Parasite. I think so. I don't see Reckless. I feel like their team chem. Like, how can your team chem be good at all if Ricky knows he's getting dropped? Like, he'll probably want to play good. He'll want to show.
Yeah, you could also say
he'll wanna
that.
show
Yeah,
off,
like
but I just feel like these young players aren't really going to have their heads in the game completely for this tournament. They're just kind of looking. I think they're looking towards the future. EG, on the other hand, it's probably Nameless who would be dropped if, and I think
he's got to be dropped.
yeah,
Like,
I think
I
think that gives him some extra fire, and potentially EG could like maybe get an upset on one of the Optic or Envy. But I think it's Optic Envy in the end that come through.
Yeah, I mean, Reckless, I kind of have a different mindset than you. I think the young players are going to be hungry rather than looking to the future. Like, I could see like Aches and Apathy and Enable looking to the future. They're like, all right, our roster's not very good. We're getting relegated. We need that extra piece. Their heads could be out of the game. But you're talking about like 3 18-year-olds that want nothing more than to show up and prove that they belong. Like, I mean, I always like to take the experience factor, but I think the young guys are going to be the team that shows up rather than the older guys. But still, I like Optic and Team Envy. I'm going to pick them, but I wouldn't be surprised if Reckless shows up either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep moving. Group D. Luminosity, Red Reserve, Splice, Mind Freak. I think this is probably the I don't know, maybe the toughest group if Splice and Mind Freak play to their potential. But I still think Luminosity and Red Reserve they've been looking so well recently. I see both of them getting through pretty easily. Splice has looked bad. Mind Freak we haven't seen them play in a while because of Pro League, so they might have a little bit of rust
I know
on
you
them.
like Mind Freak though, and they did come out on Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm not as high on Mind Freak this event as I was last event. They'll probably end up placing top 12 again, like they always do. They'll win a game or two in losers bracket and figure something out.
Man, I look at all these groups and I just think, what a couple of squares we are. We just picked the 2 favorites from every group, but I can't see anything else happening. Yeah. I mean, you know it's going to happen. You know, one of the groups, something's going to be surprising or somebody's not going to show up one day. And that's something I actually wanted to touch on, Reed. You know that this event's in England. Do you think that the English teams are going to have some sort of home field advantage?
I think all the U.S. players seem to be coming over pretty early. So I think that factor, like the jet lag factor, won't be as...
It'll wear off.
But I mean, I'm sure it's more comfortable for the European teams to be playing in Europe. I mean, there's no doubt about that. The Americans are going to be a little off.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be anything major.
You think that pressure is going to be on them because this is their only home event this year. They've gotten so close. I mean, Splice got second, Red Reserve got second, Red Reserve got third, or fourth, or something like that. So, I mean, they're so close to winning. They're at their home field advantage. Everybody's going to be cheering them on. That's something not used to this year, and you think they can really draw the energy from the crowd and maybe take it down. But I think they also have a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who the crowd is truly like polling for when, like if we get an Optic Red Reserve matchup in winners bracket or something. It'll be interesting to see like what the crowd's like. One more thing in Group D I want to hit on is Splice. If they don't play well, that'll be interesting to see what they do with that roster. And I kind of, it would be. I don't know who it would be, but I kind of want to see them like mix a North American player in with them.
That'd be interesting. I would take out Bance, to be honest. I mean, you know how good he is, and you know his skill, but he has just not been playing well this year. And Tommy's been a real surprise
Yeah,
for me.
Tommy's
Tommy's been
dominant.
playing great. Like that was a great roster move at the beginning of the year that looked so good. But once the meta changed, like this team just stopped clicking.
Yeah.
I mean, they're decent. They got fifth place, but I would love to see what piece you're thinking of coming in. You think a North American piece would even play with them?
I mean, why not? I mean, they're the. I mean, skill wise, they're probably the best like skilled players or most skilled players in Europe.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Felony when he played with them. I mean, they didn't look good, but I mean, he fit in pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those types of players will bring anybody up. They're just not clicking as a foursome, is my opinion. So I think they would have to make a change if they don't perform well here,
Yeah.
which is a real shame because you look on paper, man, and it's just like optic. Like, how are these guys losing? How are these guys not playing well?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to me. But
The one I don't think it would happen, but if Unilad plays bad as well, I mean Scraps has looked incredible. If he slid in on that Splice roster, I don't know if he wants to split up with his brother or anything, but that would be an interesting roster.
Man. Maybe even the opposite, like him and Wuskin stay together and they just find two or something. I mean, Moose. I like how Moose and Shawnee plays. I mean, they're kind of underrated. They don't really put up a lot of numbers. I mean, I like the way they play, but I think Scraps and Wuskin just have so much more potential than that.
Yeah.
Like they could easily be on a top team. I mean, look at them last year, how good they played.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, Moose and Shawnee in those. I thought for sure this team would be making a roster change, but Moose and Shawnee picked it up in the second part of their stage.
Oh, for sure.
So
man.
I think if they place decently well, that team will stick. But who knows? I mean, once one higher up team makes a roster change, it just kind of trickles down to everyone.
It's dominoes. It's just the thing of dominoes. The top piece falls, and you knock over two pieces from another team, and then all of a sudden everybody's swapping. And I mean, there's only like 3 or 4 teams. I mean, you could say like Rise, LG, maybe not even Optic, man. Like I think only 2 teams are truly safe from a roster change. Like E United can make a roster change, TK, Envy, Red Reserve. I mean, anybody can make a roster change. I don't think they're that safe. Every team of those I just mentioned can improve in some way. So you never know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that E United one's interesting because that first day at Atlanta, Clay's like, "I'm out. We're not teaming anymore."
Yeah, he's like, "I'm going home now." Like his teammates are like crying on Twitter, man.
Then they end up getting top 6 or whatever. They have a crazy run in losers bracket. They qualify for stage 2 of playoffs. It's just like
that's just vintage Clay, man. Yeah. Like when I just don't know how he turns it up when he doesn't want to turn it up. Like he had the best S&D event or KD of that entire tournament, man, and he's not even known to be like the best S&D player. You know, you got Silly and Arcides on that team. Like it's crazy the way he turns out. That's why I never count him out. He's that X factor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of like the LeBron, where he's just like, just because he's on the team, he can turn up.
Yeah.
But I'd be interesting to see what that roster does for sure because they got so much talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, let's move on to the lines. Just wanted to touch real quick. I mean, I always remind some of our viewers is how it works. If you ever see a minus, that means the team's a favorite. If you ever see a plus, that means the team's the underdog. So, example, the first line we'll go into, EU is minus 200. Meaning you got to bet $200 to win 100, and Echo Fox is plus 150, which means you need to bet $100 to win 150. And whenever you see like bigger minuses or bigger pluses, like minus 900, plus 600, that means there's a lot more just variance between the teams, where there's a lot bigger underdogs and a lot bigger favorites. So just keep that in mind when we're reviewing these lines. And so why don't we hop into it, Reed?
Yeah, so first line we got United minus 200 versus Echo Fox plus 150. This is probably one of the better lines, like odds-wise, that you could bet on, just because it's close. I think United wins, but I'm probably going to stay away from betting this game.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I mean, the thing is, though, like, United look good. They have all the momentum. They got nothing to lose. Echo Fox is playing with a sub who might not clash, might not do that. I mean, minus 200, I mean, that's close to not getting value. But I'd probably bet United to minus 250. So I'm going to put a tiny little like sprinkle of something on E United just because I think that'd be a good bet. I mean, I don't trust Echo Fox at all.
Yeah.
I was high on them the last event. They really let me down. They've been letting me down in the Pro League, like, and especially with the sub just coming in. I mean, I know they played together before, but I'm liking E United.
Imagine if like Echo Fox randomly got like a top 4 finish with Nagafin.
Oh man, that would be crazy. But you know what's funny? Like the old Elevate roster, like I like them. Like I wish they didn't split up. Like they were always playing so well. Like Nagafin was always at X Factor. Aqua would always put up the numbers. I mean, I don't know why they just swapped it around. I don't know if they didn't get along or whatever.
I'll never forget that Advanced Warfare Champs run. They just were like the best team of
Oh
all. Like they
man.
created Uplink. It looked like they were the game creators of how they were playing it.
They uplinked that for that game type, bro. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, so they got second, right? In
Yeah,
the
they got
champs?
second to Denial.
Damn, that's crazy, man. Like they were really unheard of to that time,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, they were.
They just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Like, can you imagine
basically.
that's your championship run on Championship Sunday on champs? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, so let's move on to the next one. This one's kind of interesting. It's Rise Nation minus 275 versus EU plus 200. What do you think?
Rise Nation, I kind of like this, but it's not that good of odds. But I think Rise Nation's like 100% gonna win, so I'm gonna bet kind of hard on this game.
See, I was thinking that too. Like, I really like Rise Nation, but then I remember when I bet them versus Splice, and I won. But Splice took it to
That was
a
a
game
nail-biter.
5, 6-4. Yeah, it was a nail biter, man, to start off like the matches. And that's the only game pretty much that they went to 3-2 where it was even close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is
Like
this
everything
their-
else
is this
was
their
pretty
first
easy.
game?
I think it is, yeah, versus EU first game of the day.
Yeah,
Or
that's
they might play
that's
somebody
something to
soft
think about.
that I might have left out, but
Yeah.
I mean, yes, Rise Nation plays other teams close, but you really think E United's going to be the team to give them their first group loss? They haven't lost in forever, man. Like 2 months.
Mhm.
You're talking 2 months they haven't lost a series. They're going to lose now.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just talking myself into the minus 275 bet. Like,
Yeah.
if they haven't lost in that long, what makes you think they're going to now, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, I got to sneeze for a second. Give me a sec. Oh, never mind. I'm back. Sorry, pardon me. That was Phantom, man. It was Phantom. It's a Rise Nation sneeze, but oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think we're gonna decide Rise
Yeah,
Nation.
I'm gonna bet on Rise Nation pretty heavy. It could backfire, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I can't see it backfiring either. I mean, if E United comes out and gives them their first loss of like 2 months, series loss, then more power to them. It's not like we're gonna get annihilated on this bet, and the upside's pretty good. I mean, minus 275 really seems a kind of value. You think it'd be like minus 400 just because they've been winning everything, man, but it's not. So yeah, I'm gonna take Rise Nation too. You talked me into it. I'll sprinkle a little something on that. All right.
Next one is FaZe minus 600 versus Unilad plus 350. What do you think?
You know what? Like typing this down, I'm not sure why I added this one. I mean, I'm pretty confident on FaZe on this one. FaZe has just been playing lights out, but it might be one of those things where FaZe just comes in to group play and just loses against some BS team, man. They do it every single event.
Yeah,
They lose to some team they shouldn't lose to. Like, could this be it?
This is my upset. I'm taking Unilad.
I like Unilad too, and you know what? The line after this is even better for me, so we'll get on to that one next.
Yeah, I think this group, FaZe and TK are gonna go through, but I think it's gonna be one of those weird groups where like FaZe or Unilad beats FaZe, but then Unilad like loses to the open bracket team to not advance. Something like that. It's gonna be like one of those weird groups like that.
Man, listen, I'm so high on Unilad, man. Like, I love this team. I watch this team. I know this team can win. And when we go to the next line, I'll break it down a little more. But I think I'm gonna put a little something on this. It's not a Hope Diamond lock by any means, but it's good value. But let's move on to the next line because I like this one even more.
Yeah.
We got TK minus 900 versus Unilad plus 500. And this is the one I like. I mean, FaZe, I like FaZe. I'm confident on FaZe. I think they'll probably win. I'm not confident on TK at all, man.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to sprinkle money on both of these Unilad games. I mean,
you got to figure they're going to win one, right?
A lot of value.
Yeah, I mean, you're telling me Unilad versus TK. You're telling me Unilad can win 1 out of 6. I mean, I'm taking that all day. I think they can even win more. I think they go into the series half the time. So you're getting tons of value in plus 500. TK, I would stay away from the bet at all. I mean, I don't even think that's a value if TK was minus 250. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, Unilad looks good. Not as good as TK, I'll give him that. They're not as experienced as TK. But, I mean, I like the underdog on the upset here.
Yeah, I like that too.
And then let's move on to my personal Hope Diamond
Oh
lock. Can you
yeah,
introduce it for me? Because
this is a
when I
lock
saw
and a
this line,
half.
man, my heart started racing. Like, I was starting to sweat, you know? Like,
Yeah, okay. So it's Unilad minus. Wait, am I seeing this right? Hold
yeah,
on.
that's the right
Hold
one.
on.
That's the right one.
Wait, what is it? That's a
You
one.
need your
Is that a
glasses
one
to
there
check.
to start? Oh,
I
that's a
thought this
minus
was
175
somebody
versus
missed a zero
Vitality
there.
versus Vitality.
Oh my
Vitality
god,
plus
man.
125.
Vitality shouldn't even get a line, man. Vitality should just forfeit every single match they play. When I saw this line, man, I swear my heart started racing because I knew I was gonna have to call my bookie and put some more funds in, man.
Yeah.
I can't see any universe where Vitality beats them here. Unilad's been playing well, not too well. I mean, they've only gotten 6, but there's no world where Unilad doesn't come out here and beat the one team that they're supposed to beat. I mean, Unilad's pretty good at closing out games. They should win. They closed it out against EG. They've closed it out before. Vitality just can't win this, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the odds makers was thinking here. I think they're really undervaluing Unilad just because they're giving them plus 350s and plus 500s,
Yeah.
and now they're close to Vitality. The bookies screwed up on this one. I'm going to take full advantage.
Yeah, they must have put in some sort of value wrong on this. This is a
They're definitely underestimating Unilad.
yeah.
Because it can't be they're overestimating Vitality. I mean, there's no way. I mean, the French team out of the open bracket looked better than Vitality. What was it, Monaco? I would rather take Monaco here, but I don't know. It's just that's my lock. I'm gonna lock it down, put a couple units on it, hit the bank. You know.
I feel you on that.
You agree with me?
Yeah, for sure.
So it looks like we're gonna get some 3 Unilad bets, man.
Yeah.
Or they're really gonna be making and breaking our
gotta love
weekend.
it.
Like if they just win 2 of those matches, I mean, we're golden. You know.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to send Scraps a Twitter video of myself, hyping him up.
Yeah, you gotta convert your money to pounds or something, man. He's not even gonna know what you use. Or like... All right, so let's move on to the next one. I always like to go through these lines just because a lot of people like Optic. I think it's pretty standard, some of these, but this one's kind of interesting. It's Optic minus 275 versus Envious plus 200.
I love it.
I love Envious.
Yeah,
Is that
I
what you
love
mean?
Envious.
Yeah, I mean, I love him too. Like, it's like when we were doing the Atlanta podcast, man, and I was just saying, like, Optic hasn't proven anything, and these people are still on. I mean, I go on the Reddit threads, and everybody's like, oh, Optic can win this event. I'm still high on Optic. People are just blinded by this team, man.
Optics,
like, I don't know what
Optics
it is.
odds are like Tiger Woods' odds. It's just
Yeah, exactly.
It's the crowd
right.
favorite. More people want to bet on Optic. People want to bet on Tiger Woods. It's the same. Like the odds don't necessarily mean the bookies think that they are the best chance, but the money talks more so than what's actually happening. So I think they just give Optic better odds because they know people want to bet on them.
I mean, honestly, if people just want to skip the bookies, man, I'll bet them even money over PayPal or something. I mean, I love Optic. I love their roster. Those guys have been playing forever, but they're just not good at this game yet.
Yeah.
And I know they're doing a role change where Formal's going to be running main AR. I mean, but when was that? Like a month ago they did that change?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be weird to get you basically have to relearn the whole game.
Yeah.
Just by that. You know what I mean? But here's my counter thinking too. Envious has looked horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just came out their second week and just crap the bed, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with them, but I still love them at plus 200. I think that's pretty good value there. I'd probably bet Envious to like plus 130 or something. So
yeah, Envy is definitely one of the teams that like plays to their competition and like will underestimate teams just because like Temp like embodies Envy.
It's their egos.
Ego, yeah. Like you can definitely tell that they like try harder against better teams and don't try against bad team or quote unquote bad pro teams.
I'm still kicking myself that I didn't bet Epsilon on the last day of Pro League, man. I had all the underdogs except Epsilon as the underdog, and Envy just came out like they were at the playground just joking around with their buddies, and Epsilon just came out like it was champs. You know what I mean? Like we should have seen that, man. Like you're right, Envy does play down in the competition, or sometimes they don't even play at all against their competition. It seems like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But This one I'm kind of 50-50 on, so I'm going to take the value. I think Optic has a pretty good shot at winning, but plus 200, I mean, you're talking about 3 series. I'll be taking Envy at least once or twice. I'll probably break even, maybe get lucky and win one. So
Yeah.
I think plus 200 is some pretty good value here.
Yeah, I'm betting light, but I'm betting on Envious. If you think Optic's gonna win, I wouldn't really bet on it. I mean, it's the best odds, but it's such a
Plus
toss.
275, there's no value in that.
Yeah.
I mean, there really isn't. I mean, you've seen what Optic does. They lose sometimes. I mean, Envy loses too, but you're telling Optic's just not that big of a favorite versus a team that's gone fourth, that's played well before, has just superstars basically that could just turn up. So
Yeah.
yep.
All right. Next one here, I'll announce it. Optic minus 1,000 versus Reckless plus 550. Do you see anything with Reckless to think they could win?
You know why I threw this one in here. I mean, you could explain it to the people. Last podcast, I bet Era, which was the old roster for Reckless. Basically the same team because they always beat Optic.
Yeah.
They beat Optic in the Pro League. They beat Optic in Atlanta. They were plus 600 in Atlanta. Like, it's one of those things where Reckless just has Optic's number.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
Optic's
weird.
a better team, but it's like when E6 used to beat team or Optic in Infinite Warfare. Like, they just had their number. They weren't a better team. They didn't have the better players. They didn't have the better superstars. They just beat them.
Yeah.
So plus 550 looks pretty attractive to me. I mean, I put like a unit on this just because, I mean, they've already paid me off so much in the Pro League and Atlanta. Like, I'm just playing with house money versus Optic at this point. So I'll take Reckless here too.
Yeah, I don't feel as confident in Reckless this event just because I know they haven't been like they're not scrimming. Like I know for like they're scrimming with Parasite. Like I know for a fact. So like I just maybe they'll just throw it all together. It'll like randomly come together at the event. But I mean with the amount Optics practicing versus
Yeah, I mean,
versus
you're
the
right on
amount
that one.
Reckless is scrimming together,
Optic
it
is
would be
going
like
hard.
embarrassing. Like super embarrassing if Optic loses this game.
Oh man, it was embarrassing when they were plus 600 and
Yeah.
they won. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, Optic just gets embarrassed by this team. They do it online in the Pro League Challenge. They do it like in the actual Pro League LAN. They do it at CWL Atlanta. Man, there's nothing that's shown me that Optic can beat this team.
Yeah.
New scrim partners, new players, whatever. I mean, I think these players just are out to get Optic.
Yeah.
And you know they're going to go hard against Optic. So I'm going to take them. I mean, I don't think they're going to win. But those odds are just too nice for me to pass up. So I'm going to put a little something on it again and just let the Reckless train ride,
Yeah,
you know?
I feel you.
Yep, so let's go on to the next one. It's our last Optic match. It's Optic minus 400 versus Evil Geniuses plus 275. What do you think of this one?
I think Optic's gonna win. And
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really.
yeah.
I'm not gonna bet on it. I don't really think EG has a chance though. But there's not value in it.
Yeah, I threw this one into our play sheet just because Evil Geniuses doesn't really have any attractive lines. Like, this was their most attractive line, and it really doesn't even look that attractive. I mean, Optic's gonna win. You know that.
Yeah.
Minus 400, that's not good enough odds. So I mean, there's nothing really to see here. Like, I mean, I can't see Evil Geniuses winning. I can't see Optic losing, but Optic at minus 400, you're just not getting enough value to bet that. So I'm going to pass on this line as well.
Yeah. Okay. Next one, LG minus 330 versus Splice plus 240.
Yeah, this one was kind of interesting to me too because LG is such a heavy favorite.
Yeah.
But I think Splice should be a bigger underdog, don't you think? Like
a bigger underdog. Yeah. I think. I mean, everyone just thinks Splice should be better than they are, so that's why I think they get valued a little bit more. But they're just they just haven't performed lately. I think it's one of those like legacy versus what's actually happening.
Yeah, I mean, look at it this way though. Splice takes a lot of teams to game 5.
Yeah.
Like, they made it close versus Rise. They make it close versus everybody they play that's good, especially at events.
Yeah.
So, I mean, LG is one of those teams I think is really overrated right now. I think Splice is a pretty decent value bet, but I'm probably just going to pass on this just because I can't really get a read on this one really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet it, and I'm going to bet Splice.
You like Splice? Yeah, I might put a little something on it to support you then. But like I said, like I can't really get a good read on this. Like, Splice could show up. Splice plays teams close, but they play them close and lose.
Yeah.
They're not playing them close and win it, but I mean, eventually they're going to win one of these or game fives. So, yeah, it could be a pretty decent bet. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to Red Reserve minus 275 versus Splice plus 200. The British matchup, I guess you'd call it.
I like Red Reserve. I think Red Reserve's gonna like come out with some fucking fire here. Really want to
Oh
show they're
man,
the best team in Europe, and just I think they're
which
gonna
they are.
3-0 Splice.
I mean, it's one of those things where you know how I always do my matchups. Like I look up matchups and everything's telling me that Splice has a better roster than Red Reserve.
Yeah.
But I've seen Red Reserve play. I predicted Red Reserve was going to go far last event. I mean, I like Red Reserve too, man. But Splice just their roster is just screaming out. It's like betting against Optic. Like their roster is just screaming at you, like don't bet against me, don't bet against me. I can turn up, but. Red Reserve is easily the best team in Britain, and they still don't get enough credit they deserve, man, which is crazy, you know.
Yeah, I think if they place well like this event, I think that'll like cement them.
They should be cemented now.
Yeah, I personally think they're cemented as a easily top 4 team in the world, easily the best team in Europe. But
what's crazy is like you got guys like Josh, never been a superstar, just been around forever, never been the one to put up shiny numbers. Joe, which has always been like the dirty player, never puts up numbers, and you got one good player in Rated. I mean, like what tells you? If you looked at that roster at the beginning of the year, are you going to tell me that roster was going to go off and it was just going to play super good and do well in every tournament? There's no way you'd think that.
Nah.
But I mean, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't count them out. They absolutely are. So.
Yeah, I mean, they've done it. They've proved it at every tournament. They've proved it in the Pro League, but they're still just like slept on. So.
Yeah. All right. So the next line is Splice minus 330 versus Mind Freak plus 240.
Oh baby.
Yeah, I know you're Chris Angel over here with Mr. Mind Freak. I know you are.
Mind Freak. Yeah, I'm taking Mind Freak.
Yeah, I can't tell, man. You take Mind Freak at least once every event, and it pays off.
Yeah.
Man. Like,
my
I
Mind
love
Freak
this
bets
Mind Freak
have
team.
hit pretty well. Yeah, I'm taking Chris Angel, and I'm taking him to the bank. We're levitating.
I don't know what it is about Mind Freak, man, but they're just always so underestimated by everybody, and they always come out and prove that they can hang.
Yeah.
They can hang with any team.
I feel like especially this time because they haven't played in the Pro League and they're Australian, so you like don't hear about them. Like if they're not actually playing, so I feel like they're even like more under the radar right now.
It's also the reputation they have too. Like they just have a reputation for not being that good, but they made it out of open bracket. Not open bracket. Out of their groups last time. They did decent in Pro League. I mean, they got relegated, but they showed that they can hang with the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
And what does Splice show me?
Absolutely nothing.
I'm not gonna sing the full song, but yeah, I'm taking Mind Freak too, man. Plus 240 is a very attractive value bet, but I don't like Splice. I don't like him at all.
Yeah,
Like
and
especially at minus 330. No way.
This one I don't know. I'm pretty confident. I don't know why. I just feel really good about Mind Freak plus 240 as a big underdog.
Are you gonna lock it
No,
down?
I'm not giving it that stamp of approval. But
all right, because you're 3-0 and everybody's waiting for it.
Yeah, everyone's waiting for it. It'll come.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. These are the two juiciest lines. Just entertainment value. I don't know if it's like value, but
yeah. FaZe plus 110 versus Team Caliber minus 150.
So I'll tell you what happened when I saw this line. I got on my car, I put on a suit and tie, I went down to the bank loan officer, and I took out a second mortgage because FaZe will win this match, 100%.
Wow.
I didn't know you could take a mortgage out on your apartment, but I did it. And now I got it all on FaZe, man. This is my lock. FaZe have been treat me so well. They've been so good in the Pro League, and they're still underdog event after event. You got to remember who they got knocked out by. They got knocked out by Rise, and then they got knocked out by Red Reserve last event.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1 and 2. Red Reserve that looked unstoppable. A Rise that looked unstoppable. They've went to the Pro League. They've beaten LG. They've beaten everybody. They have the best subs in the game. And you're telling me they're going to come out and lose to Team Caliber, which doesn't look very solid. Everybody's down right now and can honestly just not show up when they want to. I mean, FaZe this is a blessing right here at plus 110. What do you think, Reed?
Sheesh. Talk that shit, way.
I can't help it, man. Like, I mean, I love this bet. I mean, I like the TK guys. I mean, they've been around forever, but this is just easy money in my opinion.
I
You know?
agree somewhat, but
Uh oh. I gotta go cancel that log, man.
I don't think it's as much of a lock as you think. I do like FaZe. I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna bet this game. I just think
What?
it's a toss up, honestly, because I was a big TK hater last event, and they came through. They played pretty well.
That's true.
I don't want to be a big TK hater again and have it bite
They
me in the.
got wall banged in round 11
Yeah.
for their loss. You know, I mean,
Yeah, just think they're playing. They've been playing better than. I don't agree with them really being a favorite in this matchup. So I do see the value. I definitely see the value in it for FaZe.
you might think it's more like a -120 coin flip type of match. You think like
that's what I would think. So I do see the value in FaZe. I just am not gonna write TK off this event and this match. I mean, it's a great matchup, but
it's gonna be a fun watch. I mean, the only thing that I have against FaZe, like I told you everything why they're gonna win. The only thing I could see them losing is because they tend to choke in groups at major events.
yeah,
So that's the only thing I can see. Everything else favors FaZe, man. Just their slaying power, their rotations, their subs. I mean, the only thing that probably has advantages is accuracy over replays. But like I always hype up accuracy as he doesn't need to be that slayer, man. He's such a good Call of Duty mind that he just knows the rotation. He knows where to be. He doesn't need to get kills.
yeah.
Like he wins the game in other ways, but people don't tend to see that. They only think main slayer and they just think kills. So
Yeah, for sure.
all right, let's move on to our. Like I said, FaZe is a lock. Let's move on to our next and last matchup we're going to be reviewing. It's LG -175 versus Red Reserve +125. I thought this was one of the more interesting ones. What are you thinking on this one, Rady?
Yeah, this line is again. I think LG's overvalued a bit.
Yeah.
Red Reserve just. I mean, they demolished them at Atlanta. They 3-1 or 3-0'd them in losers bracket, and during that losers
Do you
bracket.
remember that was like 7-0 or something, and the capture the
Yeah,
flag,
they just,
like
completely,
Rated was shooting bodies,
yeah,
man.
just,
Oh,
absolutely destroyed LG's soul and took it from it, snatched it from them. Red Reserve just looked so good.
they look so good, man.
They look great. That being said, lock the fuck LG up right now. -175.
Are you serious right now?
LG's winning this.
Come on, man. You gotta
LG
tell
is
me this crazy
100%
stuff
winning
before you
this
just spurt
match.
it out here. Are you crazy? How is LG gonna win this match?
LG's winning this match. The odds are not great. I'm calling it the Hope Diamond Lock of the week, though.
No,
LG.
no, stop. The
LG
Hope Diamond on LG.
The Hope Diamond I'm putting strictly on JCap's shoulders.
Oh, the capster.
All signs point towards Red Reserve, which in the betting world means LG's going to win.
I mean, normally we break it down in statistics and stuff, but there's this gut feeling where it's just like,
this one,
like really Red Reserve. That just seems too easy,
Yeah.
and you just know it's never gonna work out like that. But
this one's in my body. I'm feeling it.
man, I don't even want to tell you my opinion now. Like after you just Hope Diamond Lock, man. Like I like Red Reserve here.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
that's
I really did.
any sane, rational person should. But your boy's not one of those.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from. I mean, LG. Man, you know what? Maybe I don't see where you're coming from, man. I'm thinking back to the capture the flag, and just my jaw was agape, and I was just like, "What the hell is this, man?" Like,
LG was coming off a loss, though. You do. I mean,
you're right. You know what happens when they come off a loss is just instantly you lose full.
Yeah.
Just instantly. Like, there's maybe one or two teams in the pro league that can come off losses and play well.
Yeah.
I mean, if any.
Yeah.
But man, all right, LG it is. But damn, I'm really look forward to this matchup because this is a rematch. I mean, if you look at the traditional sports betting side, I mean, you got to think LG is going to come out with the revenge factor. So I mean, I don't know if you follow that in regular sports, but I mean that's a thing, man. Like,
yeah,
they're going to be hyped to beat Red Reserve.
Yeah, for sure.
They're going to do everything in their power to beat Red Reserve. It's just one thing about Red Reserve too. they win the veto battles a lot.
Yeah, they're good at
Like, tell me,
those. That's
how
for
many
sure.
times do you see them playing Saint Marie du Mont on hardpoint on the first map and winning it every single time, man? Like, I don't know why teams don't veto this against them. Like,
Yeah,
they're always one up in the series. Like, if LG can come out and do smart vetoes, I think they do have a pretty good shot at winning.
yeah.
So I'll agree with you on that
That'll
one.
be. Yeah, I remember last event we were talking about the Red Reserve vetoes. We were texting back and forth about those a lot. Just
Oh yeah,
they definitely do their homework,
just-
and even like I think it's Rated would get it. He got interviewed and said, "Yeah, we just watch every like." I think it was on Saturday, or on Saturday or Sunday. He got interviewed.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, we watched every team that we knew we were gonna play, and we just
they're
figured
so
out what they were
smart,
bad
man.
at and did it off of that." Which
That's what I love about Red Reserve. They're not a good team, like on paper, but they play to win every single time. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of reminds me of TK at the beginning of the year, where they just knew how to play really well.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but all right, Hope Diamond Lock LG minus 175 for Reed. Reed is 3-0 in the Hope Diamond Locks, but he's got 3 Hope Diamonds.
Yeah,
I don't know where.
I'm
I don't know where to say
harvesting.
All
My
right.
second shop is in Cape Town, South Africa now. It's my
Yeah, it's a
home.
little dangerous now. You know what I mean. All right, anyways, so let's move on. Guys, just check out action.gg for any of these break it down. We're going to come out with our locks of the day for the matches on Saturday and Sunday too, so just give us some support. We're going to move on now to the futures. Future betting means you're just going to pick who wins the event. It's simple. You don't have to think about matchups. You don't have to think about the odds. You just throw your dart at whatever team you think you're going to win, and it's going to win. So let's review some of these lines. We got Rise Nation plus 250, obviously big favorites. Optic plus 450, Luminosity plus 500, Red Reserve plus 650, TK plus 700, NVS 1200, Splice plus 1400, FaZe plus 1400, United plus 1400, Echo Fox plus 2000, and then you got teams after this: Mind Freak 2500, Evil Geniuses 2500, Unilad 4, Epsilon 5. Nobody really that can really show anything. Who are you taking here? I mean, this is pretty similar to CWL Atlanta, don't you think, Reed?
Yeah, the safe bet's Rise Nation just because how well they looked. I mean, plus 250, it's not great odds, but I mean, it's doubling up your money, which is always a good thing to do. And I mean, they're definitely the favorites. I'm gonna put some money on Rise.
I'm absolutely going to put some money on Rise, too.
The
I mean,
the other ones that look good to me are FaZe at plus 1400
yeah, I like that, too.
and Envy at plus 1200. I like those two a lot, odds wise.
See, I was big on Envy, too, the last event, but they just don't seem like they got what it takes to win.
Yeah.
They really don't, man. Like, I mean, they play well. They play every team close. They played Rise to Game 5, I believe. The only Game 5 Rise went to. But they just don't seem like they have what it takes to get over that hump. Like, they slay super good, and they still lose. Like, if they're slaying that good, how are they losing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
they
they're
shouldn't
probably the
be.
best slaying team in the game.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
I mean,
And then
it's
I
the
like...
Slasher. So.
He's the best player in the game, absolutely. And I like FaZe, too. But the thing that just gets me with FaZe, I mean, plus 1400 is great value.
Yeah.
You're talking about a team that's top of their division, that have people that have won before, Zoom and Attach. I mean, it's just they haven't won in so long.
Yeah.
Like, you got 2 world champions on your team, you got arguably the best sub on your team, and you got one of the best flex players, a young up-and-gun Priest. Like, why are they doing better in events? I mean, I know they got 4th at the first event, but you just think they'd be competing up there.
Yeah. Honestly, if you put a decent amount of money on Rise, and then you throw a little bit on like LG and Red Reserve, I mean you're pretty set to like make some money because plus 500 plus 650. I mean that'll add up quick. I mean I think you could like kind of scheme this into just making free money. Honestly, if you put money on Rise, LG, and Red Reserve,
you can hedge yourself.
Yeah.
So let's say you put $100 on Red Reserve, you get 250, right? You put 50 on Luminosity, 50 in Red Reserve. If Luminosity, Red Reserve win, you're banking.
Yeah.
If Rise Nation wins, which you probably would do, you just broke even. I mean,
Yeah.
you get 3 picks for the price of 1, basically.
Yeah.
And you can even go further and put $50 on Envy or a little, like even $25 on Envy and FaZe, and you got 4 teams winning. And if Rise Nation wins, then you only lose a little bit of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many opportunities with these future bets. I really like
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna have to
Let's just...
beautiful mind this when I get off this to
Yeah, I
Just get
mean,
this cash
set
in
up
my
your
bank
Excel
flow.
spreadsheets, man. Call your accountant. Do what you got to do, man. But let's go to I wanted to talk to you about Optic. Like, it seems like we're not high on them at all. Is that Tiger Woods thing you're thinking about too?
Yeah, I mean, this is this. If Optic's gonna win like one event, I feel like it's gonna be this. They're people are down on them. No one really know. I mean, no one knows how they're playing because they don't stream scrims obviously, and they haven't played pro league. So maybe they're just looking dominant right now. Who knows? It'll be
Man, I'm
interesting
gonna
to
say
see
it.
what comes out of the role change.
I'm gonna say it, man. There is a 0% chance that Optic win this
Oh
event.
wow,
There's a better percent chance that I give a baby birth right now, man. Like,
ooh,
there's no way Optic win
that's
this at all.
culturally insensitive, but okay.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go in for surgery yesterday, so whatever, man. But no, I can't see Optic winning this. I've been saying it all year. I'm not an Optic hater. I like the guys. I like the team. I like what they've done, but they're just not good at this game. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. They're just not. They don't place well. They don't play well.
Yeah,
I just can't see them winning, man. They haven't gotten to the grand finals all year, and say that in the beginning of the year. Say Optic wasn't going to go to the grand finals, and just tell me if you would believe that. Like,
yeah,
there's no
no
way,
way.
man. It just goes back to the thing I always say is, like, they haven't proven to me anything. If they come out and do really well this event, I'm gonna start being a little more high on them. But I just can't bet with a team like that.
Yeah,
Like, I want to. I like them. I know they're winners. They have winning mentality. But I think Rise Nation is a pretty good bet. I like Red Reserve too because they've shown what they can do. They can get there. And then a little bit of something on FaZe is probably my bets.
yeah. Just hypothetical. If Optic places like top 6 again, and then like maybe top 4 at playoffs, are they staying together?
Uh, I mean, I think they are. Just because they've built up so much chemistry, and they have such a big brand just together, and they have so many fans. And I said it before too, like, maybe Optic isn't good this year, but you got to look to next year, man. Next year's a boots on the game, or boots on the ground, and you got those 4 players. Like, who's to say they're not going to just dominate on that game? Why break up for the last half of World War II when they've been placing pretty consistently? Just to maybe see that they can maybe win with a new guy that they haven't played with for 3 years because they've all been playing together. Like, I think Optics should stick it out to the end of the year, to be honest, and just go into next year. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that, but I don't know. I would kind of.
Who do you want to? Who would you replace though? Like,
feel like
that's one of
I
those
mean,
things.
Karma or Formal would be the only 2, I think.
But even Formal, man, like, you've seen how Formal turns up.
Yeah.
Like, let's say next year it goes in the game and he's as good as Slasher. He's one of the best players in the game. You think Optic is going to be kicking themselves for replacing that when they knew what potential he has?
Yeah.
The same with Scump with the subs. And Crimsic, there's no way he's drops in him. He's playing great. I mean, the only person I can see is Karma.
Yeah.
But then you're going to bring somebody into that role that's going to play that same dirty work role, but not as good as Karma, because Karma's one of the smartest players ever.
Yeah.
Like, so who are you honestly going to drop? I mean, I can't see anybody being dropped.
Yeah. It's definitely like a major hypothetical, but who knows?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd like to see it. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah.
imagine that player's brand the minute they join Optic.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like,
I
just
mean, how the team's
skyrocket,
been together
like-
for like 4 years now or something. Something wild.
It's crazy, man. Like, I can't believe they've been there that long. But all right, so I mean, that's our bets. Did you want to just summarize your bets, or you just gonna look at your beautiful mind hedging Excel sheet thing?
I'm just gonna spreadsheet it up. I got my chalkboard right in front of me right now.
Don't forget your vitality plus 6,600 in
Oh.
case you're feeling spicy.
Oh wow, I forgot about that one. That's
Yeah, I was gonna put my whole account on it and just get like a cool $30,000 return, man.
Yeah.
Would like the clock start spinning backwards if Vitality won the event, man? Like, what would even happen if that just came out with their French fire, man? Like, they're using guillotines on people, like.
The fans are throwing baguettes on the stage.
Oh man, yeah. Vitality. That's just a sad team. All right, guys.
Yeah.
So let's move on to our final section. We're just gonna go over our top 4. I don't mean to brag, but my top 4 was perfect in Atlanta. Just saying, it was perfect. I got all top 4
I was
right.
3 for 4.
Yeah, you were good too, except you threw an Optic there. God knows why. I warned you about Optic.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I was 3 for 4 then.
No, just say 3 for 4, man. You get more credibility.
Yeah, I was 3 for 4 in my mind. After just like my NCAA brackets, it's perfect right now. In my mind.
I think you picked Splice and Optic.
Ew.
Excuse you. Excuse
Jesus,
you.
what was that?
All right. So, did you want to go from 4 to 1 first, or did you want me to go?
I want you to go because honestly, I have no idea what I'm gonna say yet.
All right, man. All right. So, I kind of typed this up fast, but it's just like my mind just shoots out these picks, man. So I'm gonna go fourth. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Team Caliber.
Okay. I like it.
I mean, Chance picked them as their winner, and I see that they can do stuff, man. I'm taking them.
Okay.
I'm taking them. I think they're gonna turn up. Third, FaZe.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's right, man. You know what that means. I left out LG.
So I didn't know that's
second,
what that meant.
well, who do you think would have picked first and second, man? You can't pick against these teams.
I mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know you. Red Reserve
Second,
and LG, I assume.
No, second's Red Reserve, and first
Rise
is
Nation,
Rise,
sorry.
yes. First is Rise. I don't see how they're losing. They played so well. Red Reserve was on just a tear, just burying people, like putting up tombstones, and Rise just came out and shut them down so quick, man.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't have been 3-1. It should have been a 3-0. Like, I think Rise just wanted to play another map or something, man. Like, they look so good. And they weren't even rested. Like, think about it. Red Reserve plays 5 matches, just destroying people. Rise plays 1, rests for like an hour or 2, and then comes out and just demolishes people. And man, I'm gonna say it, man. Like, I'm gonna write an article soon, but I genuinely think Looney is one of the best players in the game.
Yeah.
Like, he is so underrated. Like, everybody else gets all the spotlight, but he just makes play after play perfectly each time. Like, and nobody seems to know it. It's like the same people that say Silly should be dropped or Joe isn't that good. Like, the dirty work players are so important in this game.
Yeah.
Like, they'll win you or lose you the game, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me think about this here. Fourth, taking Slasher.
Uh-oh.
Just Slasher.
Just
Slasher.
The rest of the team can sit out, man. It'll be a 1v4 clutch every time.
Yeah, I like
Man.
Slasher. Third, Red Reserve.
Interesting. Third place in their hometown. I can see where you're going with this.
Second,
You're Mr. Cap, right? You love J Cap too much?
I got a little man crush. Who knows? LG second, Rise Nation
Of course.
first.
Man, you really like the LG over Red, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Not Rise, excuse me. LG just kind of fell out of my favor. Like, they were looking okay in the Pro League. They didn't impress me. They just got demolished by Red. I mean, they played pretty decent. I mean, they took Mind Freak to Game 5. They lost to Red, got demolished by Red 3-0. They're losing in the Pro League to FaZe. Like, I just think FaZe is a better pick here. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think LG is still like I feel like Red Reserves kind of hit their ceiling with the players that they have.
Like TK kind of, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
And I think
too,
LG, like, they're just gonna, as they keep playing and playing and playing, they're just gonna keep getting better and better just because of the skill that's on their team. And they already understand the game at a very high level, obviously, with how they've been playing. They got first in their group and everything. But I just think they have their ceiling. They just keep getting better and better.
Yeah, they are very good. And I mean, you got John, one of the best subs. Octane, one of the best they are. JCap's one of the smartest players ever. Slack's really their weak link for me.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot of people touch on. I mean, he makes some plays, but he's just never been a stand-up player to me. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I had to leave LG out here, man. They just haven't impressed me enough. TK was kind of my wild card pick. Like, there can be so many different like teams in there, but I just think TK will step it up. I mean, they could have went far last time. They lost to Red Reserve on a tear too, and they were playing him pretty well. So, yeah, I like TK here.
Okay.
On fourth, FaZe, Red Reserve, and then Rise to win it all. I think Rise we're both pretty high on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can't really bet against them. So, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think that. I mean, that pretty much sums it up.
Yep, guys. So that's our CWL Birmingham predictions. Guys, check us out on action.gg. We're going to have so many articles, so many bets. We're going to have Reed's Hope Diamond locks. We're going to make some money together. I'm Way. That was Reed. And we'll catch you guys later. Check us out on our next podcast. Bye.
Yes, sir.